I'm going to show you how to take your fighting from noob to pro with these tips. And some things I will show you today include how to escape a full box, how to fight confidently, and I'll even break down a few fights and how I won them. But before I hop into the tips, let me thank you for clicking on this video, and you're going to want to watch to the end because I know this video will improve your fighting skills. Tip number 1 is to know when to engage in fights. If you don't engage in the right fights, you won't gain anything and you could even die. It's like when you play defense in sports. In man defense, if you try defending someone who is too easy or too hard to guard, your team won't benefit. So you only want to defend someone that's really good on the other team so they can't win. If you're in a ranked match with max mats and good loot, and you decide to fight someone mid-game, you will not gain anything. It works the same way in creative. If you fight easy people, you will develop bad habits and do worse against good players. And if you fight against Booga level players, you won't improve because you'll just die instantly. So try to fight people the same level as you in creative and take beneficial fights in ranked. And one quick thing I want to point out is that they finally added the chapter 5 weapons to creative, so now you can practice with them even more in creative. Tip number 2 is how to use high ground to your advantage. Whoever is on top in the fight is gonna win in the end. Before you can even use high ground, you need to know how to get it. You can do that by doing a high ground retake. If you want to learn how to do a high ground retake and other mechanical techniques, click the video in the top right hand corner. Anyway, there are several ways to use high ground to your advantage. A rule of thumb when fighting in Fortnite is to always be on top. The first major advantage of high ground is that you can hit headshots easier, allowing you to get more damage off. The first way you can use high ground against your opponents is by wasting their mats. You can easily waste their mats as they try to reach high ground by coning them and shooting them when they leave themselves open. And then when they either run low on mats or you crack their shield, you can drop down to kill them since you will have a huge advantage in the fight. Another thing you can do on high ground is spray the opponent when they don't expect it to get tons of damage off. And if you have good aim, you can easily crack your opponent's shield as long as you recognize how your opponent is playing. Tip number 3 is how to heal in a fight. This tip also includes how to counter people who are trying to heal mid-fight. Healing mid-fight is essential if you want to even the playing field when you get shot. If you don't heal up, you will have a higher chance of dying, and many people when taking damage don't take the time to heal up and just keep pushing their opponent thinking they can win, when the reality is the opponent can just one-pump them. The best strategy to be able to heal mid-fight is this. When your shield gets cracked, wait for the enemy to break your wall and pre-fire them. The counter damage will push them away from you, and once they leave, make 3 boxes in an L shape like this. Stand in the middle box when healing, so if they spray or pickaxe one box, you can move to the other one. Other healing strategies include taking height to heal or running away to heal, but this strategy I just showed you will consistently win you fights. You can counter people who are trying to heal by constantly pressuring them until they run out of mats, and you can finish them off. You can practice this skill by playing W key or 1v1, which has one player at low health trying to heal. Tip number 4 is to read your opponent. In sports, you want to know how your opposing team plays so you can counter them. It's the same way in Fortnite. All the pros can recognize what their opponent is about to do, which leads them to having insane clips. There are many things to read about your opponent. An easy thing to take note of is what shotgun they have. If they have a frenzy auto shotgun, they will be trying to get close. If they have a pump, they'll play further back into their box. Knowing this can lead you to reading what they will do, which will give you an advantage in the fight. Another easy thing to read is when they will pre-fire you. If you're making an edit or breaking a wall and they have a shotgun out, they will pre-fire you. So if that happens, just try to fake them out and then shoot them. Something that takes some more practice to read is someone's playstyle. If you can recognize what they're doing in one situation, they will probably do it in a different situation in the battle. The only way to learn this skill is by playing a ton of creative and getting used to many different playstyles. Tip 5 is how to box people who mantle. People who constantly mantle on your builds can be a pain, but if you know how to full box them, you can easily use this to your advantage. Before I show you this, you will need to recognize when people will mantle. You can tell they're going to do it if they're under you and you hear them constantly mantling. Once they're directly under you and they're about to mantle, do this. First, figure out what side they're going to mantle on and stand on the adjacent side. Then when they mantle, place 3 walls, a roof, then back up and place another wall. From here, you can just piece control them, edit, and kill them. Here is an example. Tip number 6 is how to fight confidently. Confidence is key. Playing confidently will give you a great advantage while fighting. If you can learn how to be confident while fighting, you will have better mechanics and fighting skills overall because you will be confident in them. You can play confidently in different ways. The main thing people do when playing confidently is to always push the opponent and not stop moving. This will put pressure on your opponent and cause them to mess up. If you show confidence while playing against your enemy, they'll think you're good even if you're bad at building and editing. All the pros can play confidently during the whole game, even when at a disadvantage during something important. That sets them apart from the average player. Confidence can be achieved by having a good mindset and not being worried about the game. Fortnite is just a game, and if you lose, there is no penalty, so you can play with confidence knowing that you won't lose anything. Tip number 7 is how to escape a full box. This skill is difficult to learn, but it's also the most useful. Escaping a full box is one of the best skills you can learn in Fortnite. You can use it to surprise your opponents and even win fights. Many people don't know how to counter this strategy because they don't expect to lose when they have their opponent in a full box. But if they face you, they'll be caught off guard. There are 3 ways to escape a full box, and this is the first one. Before they edit the wall, move all the way to your right, which is their left. This will make it hard for them to shoot you through a right-hand peek. And then right when they edit, break the wall because it will be low, and then take it. Once you have the wall, just get some counter damage and push them away. The second method involves having a cone or stair. With this, you can edit it to block them and break the back wall, or you can get counter damage like this. Third way to escape a full box is to pre-fire them before they edit the wall. Anyway, now that I've shown you how to win fights, let me break down fights so you can learn how to win more often. Alright, so this one is in Speed Realistics, and I'm in a box. I'm building up, and he places a floor above me, so I just try to get height at the beginning of every fight. Then once you have height, you can kind of look down on your opponent and shoot them. I missed a shot when he grapple bladed, but that's okay because I'm at height right now. It's super easy to shoot people when they're grappling up, so make sure you always do that. At this moment, I realize he's doing the same peek over and over, so I wait for him to reset, then spray him, which gets a couple damage off. Then I try to do the same thing right here. He's kind of camping in his box, so I try to tickle it a little bit to see if he peeks at all. I saw him edit, so I built a wall immediately so I don't get shot. Then right there I try to spray him and I block it just in time. And then he just grapples up, and then at this point he really is not looking too good. He's trying to get height, so I make sure to block him off with the cone and then take height again. And I always make sure I'm a couple layers up. And right here I spray him because he's trying to build up. And somehow it gets damage. I don't even understand how we still got that. And then since I took damage, I just try to get height so I can shoot him. And then he gets even more damage, so I just drop down a little bit. And then use Flowberry Fizz to do a side jump like this, which cracks his shield when he doesn't expect it. And now I'm back on height. At this point, he's already low, so I just spray him and he dies. This one is box fights. So at this point, we just lost, so I decided to switch things up and go left instead of forward. My teammate and I switched, and I went to this side, because usually my teammate has been dying to this guy, so I decided to fight him this time. And they haven't been pushing, and they're pushing actually where I was supposed to go. So then I push toward him and try to take these walls. Then at this point, once I'm here, this guy runs into my box and I shoot him. And then he's not building at all, so I just try to get some peeks on him. And then I know where he is, so I just go down through this cone and kill him. And at that point, my teammate had killed the other guy. Alright, this is the last fight we're going to review. So I usually build 2 boxes like this and then start edit coursing forward, which is exactly what I do. And then I realize my teammates actually starts fighting him, so I go to help him out. Kill this guy, and then there's only one guy left. So I just push right into him, and I kill him. But what this fight really is trying to show you is that you need to be aware of your teammate and what they're doing so you can help them out in the fights, just like I did, because if I wasn't there, he might have died. Nothing in this video will help you unless you know how to keep ranking up without fail. So watch the video in the middle of the screen to help you with that. Subscribe for more tips. Jesus loves you, and I hope you have an awesome day.